1, 2, action.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Double D Ranch here in northern Michigan. We decided we would sit down and kind of go over what the status of our homestead is 2 years later. We started our homestead a little more than 2 years ago, but we started this YouTube channel to kind of
Share.
document and share our experiences and have you follow along with us as we establish it. So when we first bought this place, there's nothing here. I mean, the house was here, the barn was here, and the garage was here, but none of the fencing or the animals or anything. It was actually more set up for the guy who owned it before. Did car repairs and restoring and all that stuff.
He was an old car collector. There were tons of cars and stuff around here when we actually looked at the place. Junk everywhere.
So anyways, we seen it and it had a hoist. Aaron was in love, thinking he was gonna do car stuff, and we went a completely different route.
Not my choice, totally. I still like the car stuff. Most of my time is spent on the ranch doing stuff around here.
With the state of the world recently in the last couple years, we've come to realize that we need to be a little more self-sufficient and not totally depend on the stores. So little by little we're making our way there. We started out we bought some chickens for eggs and some ducks because we had ponds and we thought ducks were a fun idea. Nothing really to help with the homestead. It was just, they were fun.
Get us into starting with some animals, easy stuff.
But that was a bad idea because we live on a busy road and we let them loose and they all got hit on the highway. So.
We raised them up in the backyard in a fenced-in area and got them nice and big and healthy, and we decided to run them out back here. We have a big pond out there close to the road, and we let them go, and they only made it, what, a week, 2 weeks, if that?
Yeah, if that.
And they were either chased or they found greener pastures or better water across the street because they made it through all the cattails, and Sunday morning we woke up to 19 ducks smeared across our busy road. Big truck or something came through and they were hit. So that was our first experience with animals and loss on the farm.
Yeah, but we were totally loving the chicken thing, so we got more, and eventually a girl at work was like, hey, I have these goats, do you want them? I have no use for them, they are just pets. They're actually 2 wethers, which means castrated males. But it got us into the goat thing. Yeah. That was our second loss because we got one and we didn't know anything about goats, and we thought like everyone else that eat goats, there wasn't a whole big thing to take care of them, and we found out the hard way because we ended up losing one. And then we bought 2 more, another wether and a female. So we're like, oh, we have this female, and so we have a female, and we decided we were gonna maybe start breeding some goats and selling them. So I got on Craigslist and I was looking for goats, and I found someone thinning out her herd, the mini Nubian breed. So I researched them, and we ended up buying 2 more females and a buck. And that started an obsession. When we picked up the goats, she actually gave us some soap, and we loved that. So we were gonna start milking and making soap, and I just went down the whole rabbit hole, I guess.
And I got drugged down
so
with her.
Yeah, so we started out with the goats in the back in the dog kennel, and now we have like 3 different areas where well, 3 in a temporary place we can put them. And we're, 16 goats in now?
I lost track.
Yeah.
Goat math is like chicken math.
But this is our 3rd year kidding. We've learned how to birth goats and take care of them the right way, and looking into showing them. The kids were in 4-H before the pandemic hit. We are working on milk stars now. We're milking every day. So that really helped out the homestead, because we don't have to rely on the store for milk if we don't want to, and we don't have to rely on the store for soap necessarily, because I make it myself.
And we get our own eggs now. We get duck eggs and chicken eggs, and we get so many of them that, and actually we slowed down recently because we thinned out our flock. We got rid of some older hens that we had. Someone was in need, so we got rid of those and replaced, what did we get rid of, 5, 6? And we replaced those with 30. So now we've got, again, the chicken math, it doesn't make any sense, but we got 30 new hens. Well, not all of them are hens because some of them were unsexed, so we're probably going to have to roosters again, which we've been without for a while, and I missed the noise. And so now we'll have a ton of eggs, but right now we're getting enough eggs to supply us, and we sell them on, we got a little sign out at the road, we sell eggs, and the ducks are producing eggs too, so we're selling those.
Enough to not make us rich, but enough to help with their food bill.
Yeah, and eggs aren't that expensive to go buy at the store, but it's rewarding to be able to just not spend that couple dollars and know that we did it here. So
we got into the mini Nubian thing. We became a member of the MDGA, which all of our goats are registered. We're working on the milking stars and making sure our stock is just really good and people really want it.
It's crazy how in-depth and actually technical goat stuff is. We got into thinking, it's just goats, you just throw them in some grass or some junk and they eat it and there's no big deal, but fencing them and then giving them all their shots and the blood tests and the milk tests and adjusting feed for, with your milk testing, trying to get the right
protein to
stuff.
fat ratio,
and then there's showing and there's hoof trimming and oh geez, there's so much. Nobody believes you if they're not into goats. They don't believe you how in depth you can get with these things and how technical it actually is. But we've got a heck of a setup going on now.
Yeah.
Working our way up there.
Yeah, we've learned a lot the last couple years, and we've been able to help other people with their herds and getting started, and people are always asking us questions, and if I don't know the answer, I have several good mentors that I can call and find out.
The homesteading and I guess small farming and community is pretty neat. You can
we've made lots of friends.
You've got tons of friends just by going to animal swaps or meeting them online or buying goats from them. You just gain all these friends, and you always got those in your back pocket. Some of these people have been doing it for 20, 30 years, and they are pros compared to us who are still learning, because it's a never-ending learning curve with farming. And we're not a giant farm, but it's still considered farming. And so it's nice to have those people in our back pocket in case we get lost and don't know what to do with a certain situation, or like kidding, we've had to call over our neighbors. They have horses and sheep and goats, and so they've done some birthing with their ewes, and we had a difficult birth and called them over, and they were happy to come help us, and even just to be there as support. It's just nice to be able to have a network of friends and people that are into the same thing. Oh, Tucker got zapped on the fence.
So now we have our own milk, and we can make cheese, and so we'll milk, cheese, eggs. We also grow, I guess you could say, our own meat, which is new in the last couple. Raise, grow. They're little. We buy bacon seeds.
Yep. 2 years ago we did 2 pigs, and we had them butchered up at an Amish farm just about 45 minutes north of where we live, and it was amazing. Or no, those ones we did south, and that was not the greatest experience, but it was a learning experience. But then last year we did 3 pigs. We bought them at the local farm swap, got a good deal on them, and we raised them up till they were 300 plus pounds, and then we took those to the Mennonite or Amish up in 45 minutes north of us, and they did the butchering, and we kept a whole one for our freezer, and then the other 2 we sold off to people. And but anyway, so we were able to raise our own pork. Now you go lay down and think about what you did. We were able to raise our own pork, and bacon is amazing, and sausage is amazing. The pork steaks, the chickens. When we've raised 40 to 60 chickens a year that we do here, and we sell some of them or give some away. And but that chicken is just so much better than what you buy in the store. You get a chicken breast that's a good size like you would in the store, and you cook it, and it doesn't shrink up. You cook the store chicken and it shrinks, and you get like half or a third of what you started with. Just juicy, delicious chicken, and we know it's raised. All of our meat's raised with no antibiotics, no hormones. The animals are well cared for the time they're on the farm, so it's just a good feeling to be able to do that on our own.
And then our children also learn what it takes to grow your own food and where it comes from, and
they've helped and witnessed the butchering of chickens, and our son seeing the dispatching and that part of the hogs. So I mean, it's a huge learning experience for them too. I feel like the kids are getting a huge
life lesson.
Yeah, life lesson, and learning important things. Not everything is taught in schools that really should be taught in schools. We're learning a lot out here on the farm. We've only got 38 acres, but it's a lot of learning on here. There's tons of learning from repairing and building the farm up to taking care of animals and treating animals and just everything. It's real neat. It's a good experience, a good wholesome life lesson for the kids.
They helped us start gardens from seeds, and they help us plant them, and then they help us harvest them, and then now we're canning. Yesterday we did about 14 pounds of strawberries, and we're going to do some asparagus today.
Pickled asparagus today.
So, and they help us with that. And
our oldest boy helps with the lawn, because I mow it's between 5 and 7 acres every week, depending on how much of it I choose to mow. Some of it is out back by a pond that we don't use, and it grows slower, but so at least 5 acres of mowing, and he's now he rides the rider while I do the tractor work, and we can hammer it out, and the kids weed the flower beds and gardens, and
help us make the soap. So
electric fence is not something that they are in contact with all the time, so he's our pup. He's learning.
The goats are out in there. The premier one, goat netting, the portable stuff. So
portable. It's
we
two
have
300-foot sections and a solar charger, so we can move them out into the field and
we
let
have
them
like
graze
a
out there.
15-acre pasture for hay, so they go out there and they graze, and it helps with the feed bill on them.
Yeah, feed bill, geez, oh Pete's.
And we got hay burners back there. I know they're not out right now. It looks like they're maybe in the barn or something, but
Go ahead on, Bandit.
we got horses last year, and the kids have taken riding lessons, and it's something that they've enjoyed as well. So
We're learning with that too. That's a learning lesson.
if the gas prices keep going up, we can do horses to work.
Yeah, at this point with $5-6 per gallon prices, it might actually be cheaper to ride the horses.
Yeah.
We're giving them anywhere from $40 to $70 a round bale of hay, and the horses will consume 1 round bale in about a week and a half. But we got 2 horses and a donkey, so they're consuming about a bale every week and a half. So I'd have to figure that out.
Yeah.
Might be cheaper to ride horses.
When we do have this 15-acre, we can get it hayed up, and that's free food right there for them.
Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, that's what we've done. We've made lots of improvements here with new buildings for the bucks and the chickens, and our little soon-to-be milk parlor, and painting the barns, and fencing, and we've done a lot in 2 years since we started this channel.
The garden too, that was a huge, we started 2 gardens. We did one giant one to the south of our property that was pumpkins and squash. The one year we did just all sunflower seeds for the birds. We just planted a bunch of sunflowers, and then the birds just had a heyday with it. But now this year, that's all pumpkins. We've got over 600 pumpkin seeds planted, watermelon, cantaloupe, squash, all planted in that section there. So that's going to be huge. And then the place we planted our gardens in the last couple of years, to the north side of our property, that that was a sandier soil, and I had to amend that with a lot of the compost that we've turned into black dirt with the goat and chicken and horse poo.
That's something we do.
Yep, we convert all of our waste into beautiful black dirt. So I added a lot of that to the north garden, but it's just farther away from the well and harder to water, and the soil's just not that great. So we decided this year we moved the garden to the center of our property, which is only 2 garden hose sections away, so we can actually water it with a sprinkler. And we've done some really nice, everything's nice and uniform and planted nicely, and we got straw down in the walk paths to keep the weeds down. So we've improved that too. From our first garden to the latest rendition of our gardens has greatly changed. So.
So we're excited to see where the next 2 years takes us, hopefully.
The next 10 years,
well,
15 years.
2
till
years
retirement.
at a time, right? So,
and then we'll sell it and anybody can buy it. Everything.
Anyways, so that's just kind of a 2-year update on where we're at with this homestead here. And I think we're moving in the right direction.
Yeah, it's not easy. We've had a lot of losses and a lot of unfortunate things happen, and a lot of times of being broke, not making anything. But then you get other times where, like right now, kidding season, we're finally selling the kids off, and so we're getting some money back, and garden's starting to prosper. And so you go with your ups and your downs, and we're doing this all with 2 full-time jobs. I work a full-time night shift job, she works a full-time day shift job, and then we do this on the side. So with all the bills and having 4 kids and all the nonsense that we have going on here, we like to throw camping trips in once in a while. So it's just hard to balance and keep things going in the right direction sometimes, and you get behind, and then you catch up, and then winter comes, and then you get behind, and just lots of learning. But we're doing good for the 2 years of what we've accomplished so far. So and we keep a very clean and nice farm, and it doesn't feel like a smelly, nasty, muddy farm. It's just nice. In fact, we were able to have that goat yoga class. A friend of ours does our tattoos. She also is a yoga instructor, so we did a goat yoga class here. She taught it. We hosted it right in the goat pen. Not a lot of goat pens I don't think you could do something like that in. So I think we've done good with keeping it clean and disease free and looking nice and healthy.
Yep.
So just we're learning.
So if you haven't yet, please make sure you like and subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you on the next one. Have a great day. Bye.